Guys, fresh update concerning Mohamed Kudus to Arsenal. I'm here with that update and I'm going to share that with you. We're also going to talk about Chelsea coach Enzo Maresca and what he said about two boys who are of Ghanaian descent. We're also going to talk about Manchester United, Real Madrid, and also Barcelona live here. But before we jump into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. You're watching SportsCornerGH. Quickly, let's jump into it. I want to start with Mohamed Kudus. The chances of Mohamed Kudus leaving West Ham by the end of the season is 99%, and this is being reported by journalists who talk about West Ham. Now, they state that West Ham needs to fund transfers for Graham Potter. Now, we all know when Graham Potter took on the job, he came to meet players that were bought by Junior Lopetegui, and he has a new system as compared to Junior Lopetegui. So when the season ends, he also needs players. Now, West Ham do not have the amount or the money to fund these transfers, so they have to sell some of their key players, and on that list Mohamed Kudus is there. Now, currently Mohamed Kudus has a release clause of 85 million euros, which only applies to European clubs. For clubs outside Europe, it is 120 million euros. Now, we hear Al-Nassr interested in Mohamed Kudus, so for them they would have to pay 120 million euros as release clause if they really want Mohamed Kudus. For clubs inside Europe, for clubs like Chelsea, Arsenal, PSG, Tottenham, who have all shown interest in Mohamed Kudus, the release clause is 85 million euros. Now, we hear clubs want to use a different approach. Now, they prefer a higher amount for Mohamed Kudus so they can pay in installments. So let's say 90 million, then they can pay in installments, because release clause, you have to pay it in cash at the moment. So guys, that is the update we are getting concerning Mohamed Kudus. But then Mohamed Kudus to Arsenal has taken a new turn, and let me explain. Now, Arsenal are interested in Nico Williams, but then Nico Williams is yet to decide. Reason being that if you take a look at the Spanish La Liga table, the possibility of Athletic Club playing in the UCL next season is very high. Now, Nico Williams is undecided, because if Athletic Club manages to make UCL next season, then there is no point coming to Arsenal. Now, Arsenal themselves are also not decided on Nico Williams yet. They like the player, they believe he can be a great addition to the team, but they also believe that his personal wages and also personal demands would be a standing block, because what he's demanding is so high. Now, an option to Nico Williams is Mohamed Kudus. Now, Mohamed Kudus being available on the market by West Ham is a boost for Arsenal, and Arsenal are going to make a move for Mohamed Kudus. Now, Arsenal are not the only one in the race. As I already said, Chelsea are interested, Manchester United are interested, even PSG are interested in the player. So guys, this is the update concerning Mohamed Kudus, and also the new twist. Arsenal are now considering Mohamed Kudus as, a top target. Now it's no more Nico Williams, it is now Mohamed Kudus. So guys, that is the update that has to do with the player. Now let's move away from that and talk about Chelsea. Chelsea played a game on Sunday against Fulham. That game ended in a 2-1 win for Chelsea. They did a comeback. The goal scorers were Pedro Neto and also Tyrique George. Now, after the game, the coach of Chelsea, Enzo Maresca, has some few things to say about these two players with Ghanaian descent. Now, he said this. He says that I'm very happy for Tyrique, him and Josh Acheampong, both from the academy. We decided to promote them because they are good talent. They have to keep working hard. Now, these two players he mentioned are of Ghanaian descent. That is why I'm bringing up this story. Now, Tyrique George and also Josh Kofi Acheampong are eligible to play for Ghana and also to play for England. And both players are playing for Chelsea's first team and are doing so well. For Tyrique George, the goal he scored against Fulham was his first goal in the EPL for Chelsea senior team, which is very good for the player. So I'm just looking at this, and I believe Ghana national team has a very bright future if they can convince these two players as early as possible, because they are doing extremely well with Chelsea. Chelsea is giving them the opportunity to express themselves. So guys, this is the update concerning Chelsea and what the coach had to say concerning these two Ghanaian boys, Tyrique George and also Josh Kofi Acheampong. Now, let's move away from all this and talk about Manchester United. Now, Manchester United have shown interest in Matheus Cunha, who plays for Wolves. Now, the good news is that Wolves have told Manchester United to bring 62.5 million euros to sign the player. Now, the thing is, Manchester United do not want to pay that because that is his release clause. Now, Wolves are with the idea that if Manchester United does not want to pay the full amount, then they have to sign the player for about 70 or 75 million euros. Then they can give Manchester United an installment plan to pay the money. Now, the reason why Manchester United want Matheus Cunha is very simple. Now, Matheus Cunha in the EPL, out of 28 games, has scored 14 goals and given 4 assists. For Ruben Amorim, the reason why he wants Matheus Cunha is very simple. If you take a look at Manchester United's system, Ruben Amorim plays 2 number 10s, 1 left and also 1 right. With Manchester United, we have 1 on the right, but we don't have 1 on the left. If you take a look at what Wolves play, the system is similar to what Manchester United plays. And Matheus Cunha provides that number 10 role who can also occupy the left side. That is the reason why Ruben Amorim is interested in the player. So guys, this is the situation with Manchester United and Matheus Cunha. I'm a Manchester United fan, that is why I'm bringing this up. And I believe that he will be a great addition to the club. He does not care if Manchester United make it to the UCL or not. He just wants to play because currently he receives 90k a week. And he believes that, you see, I mean, if he can come to Manchester United, he can get close to 100 to 150k a week, which is quite okay, which is good money for the player. But then, guys, this is the update that has to do with Manchester United. They are also considering Antoine Semenyo, who is obviously a good player, 10 goals across all competition for Bournemouth this season. And I'm sure after Matheus Cunha's deal, they are going to concentrate on Semenyo because they believe that they need a number 9 in that team to compete with Hodgline, to compete with Zegzi and co. So guys, that is the update that has to do with Manchester United. Now, let's move away from Manchester United and talk about Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid are in a very peculiar situation because in my previous video, I told you that they have a game plan, they have a target for the end of the season to prevent Barcelona from winning the treble. Now, what they have to do is to make sure to win the rest of the games in the Spanish La Liga. They are left with 6 games. And currently, Barcelona has 73 points. Real Madrid has 69 points. Barcelona will play today against Real Mallorca. And I'm sure Real Madrid fans will be watching that game, hoping that Barcelona are going to lose. But Barcelona themselves also have a game against Getafe. And from what we hear, there is, bit of fallout between the coach and also the players, which Carlo Ancelotti have already spoken about, saying that there is nothing like that. Now, the main headache for the coach is the formation he has to play. A lot of people believe that he's going to drop players in the game that he's going to play in the Spanish La Liga so that he can focus on weekend's Copa del Rey final against Barcelona. Now, with the Copa del Rey finals, if he fails to win that, then that would be all for Don Carlo and also Real Madrid, which is very sad in my own opinion because I believe that the coach has done a lot for Real Madrid. Now, for Don Carlo, he's attracting interest from a lot of clubs. AC Milan interested. Clubs from Italy are interested in signing the coach. But then what we hear is Brazil national team. They are willing to offer the coach the same offer he has at Real Madrid. That will make him the highest paid national team coach, which is wild. Now, Brazil needs Don Carlo very simply because of the 2026 World Cup. So guys, that is the situation with Real Madrid, the fallout, what they have to play for, which is the Copa del Rey finals. From what we hear, the coach is torn between choosing the goalkeeper that's going to start in the finals. Is it going to be Courtois or Lulin? Because Lulin has been playing the Copa del Rey for a very long time throughout the season. Is he going to put Lulin down and play Courtois? That is the situation currently at hand. But then guys, that is the update coming from the camp of Real Madrid. Now, let's talk about Barcelona a bit. Today they play against Real Mallorca. They believe that Barcelona are going to drop some players, and people fear that if Hansi Flick does that, the possibility of him losing is very high. Hansi Flick might drop players just so he can focus on the Copa del Rey. They want to win the treble. Barcelona are with this idea that they can win the treble, and they fear that today against Mallorca they might drop players. And I get what Barcelona fans are saying, but then it's 4-point gap. Even if you draw the game, you still have like 3 points ahead. There's just 6 games left. After today's game, you have 5 games left. But then guys, this is the situation. If you're in the shoes of Hansi Flick, would you drop players and play against Mallorca so that you can have your full energetic squad to play in the Copa del Rey finals over the weekend? Let me know your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Now let's talk about the last item that has to do with Abdul Fattah Issahaku and what he had to say about Adebayor. Guys, let's check it out together.
I say, Adebayor is one of the players who inspired me a lot, and his lifestyle and how he plays, everything just kept me like motivated, and yeah.
I actually love that.
So guys, you have heard from Abdul Fattah Issahaku and what he had to say about Adebayor, because he was talking about African players that motivate him, that inspires him to do more. And this player is still injured. He picked up an ACL playing for the Ghana national team. From reports, what we hear is that he would recover on August 2025, which is very positive news concerning the player. But then that is what the player had to say about Adebayor. But then guys, this is all I have for you for today's video. Let me know your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Charlie, we go bye.